my screen, dear. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing. If I get lost, come find me because I've been known to like kind of disappear and I'm like, where am I? So
I will help you, dear. No
let
worries.
me out.
No
Yeah,
worries.
okay. Yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Um, so this whole thing started because of the distance learning. I actually started doing the IEP progress monitoring beforehand because well, our admin, she's very tech savvy, so she wanted more data and so forth. So I'm very paper. I print everything out. I've got folders and stuff, but I'm starting to get used to the virtual world. In doing that, I went ahead and I created a Google form, and I just found it online. Autism Helper has great resources, and so that's where I got the idea from. I'm going to go over to share screen. Let me know if you guys can see this
It
okay.
is sharing quite well, Debbie. You're good to
Oops.
go.
Is it? Okay, good. So let me just show you what it looks like first. If I go into my Google Forms, under my Drive, I created a folder that says IEP Progress Monitoring. And so with that, I had a folder for each student. And in their folders, I would have a form for each goal. So I'm going to click on just one of my students here. And you can see each form I would just label. I put their IEP dates to know, and then I would have the goal number. All the old goals, I just made another folder and I just put it in there. But for example, say I wanted to work on this goal. Let me close this out here. I want to work on this goal. I'm able to enter the data. And so the goal for this one is, oh, this is a good one. This is a new one. Okay, so this one right here, one of his goals was to match letters. And so I'm able to put in the date, the level of mastery. Now at our school, we have prompt levels from 0 to 5 based on independence. 0 is a hand over hand. Right now, a level 1 is a behavior goal. So if I tell Joey, hey, let's color the paper, and then Joey takes the paper, crumples it up, throws it on the ground, that's a level 1, because I know he can do the task. However, there's a behavior he doesn't want to, refusal behaviors. A level 2 is 3 plus on the prompts, and then it dwindles down, and then 5 would be just completely independent like you and me. So most of my students are between 0 and 2. When I do report cards, I tell my parents, you want to see 2s and 3s. A kindergarten, you're going to see 2. If you see 2s, that's great. High school, that's when you want to see more of 3 and 4 because that shows the independence level. And if they're not at a 1, that means they could probably keep a job, right? If they're at a level 1 in high school and they're checking French fries, they're gonna get fired. They're gonna lose their job. So those are my prompt levels. And then I have the type of prompting. So for me, I would say, was it a physical prompt? Did I have to give them verbal cues, gesture, visual cues, maybe some picture cards? And the type of activity I used, whether it was an assessment, observation, or a work sample. And then, of course, if I have the work sample, I'll just keep that in a file. And then any notes that I have. So when I'm done with all of this, you can always click on the responses to it. So if I have an IEP meeting or a parent conference, it shows all of the dates that I've entered the data. And then what's nice is it shows a pie chart of the level of mastery. So this student is at a prompt level 2 for this activity. And then right here, it looks like I used a lot of verbal cues and gestural. I didn't use physical or visual cues. And then the activity that we have right here is observations. So it looked like this one was a lot of observation. And then now you can see, right, you see mom right here is because I've started with the distance learning. I'm able to call my parents up, pull up the sheet, and then I say, hey, do you have time to, review, I call IEP data check? And they're like, sure. So then I'll say, hey, matching letters, what are you doing with matching letters? And then I'm able to take notes like per mom, he has not practiced, he's practicing colors and flashcards. So what I like about that is, I did call the state, I said, how are we accountable with IEP data? And they said, just make sure you have something written like per parent. So it's coming from the parent, because we all know if we say, you know, Joey's toilet trained, or Joey's still working on toilet training, and parents say, oh, no, he can do that, no problem. Well, sometimes they can do it at home, but we don't see it in the classroom. Or maybe the level of independence that we see is might be a little different than what the parent sees. So I just always put per parent on there. So this is what comes up with that. Then another good thing about this is when I do go into my IEPs, and if the goal is, for example, 4 out of 5 trials, I can go on the last 5 data checks, and I could say, look, right here, we've got level 2 prompt, 4 out of 5 trials. So then it just helps me out that way. And then of course I have all of the notes right here too, to talk it over with mom. So that's what I do. Every kid has their own folder, and then every kid has their own goal. And then I call the parents once a week to do data check, because in my classroom, once a week I was doing, I was pulling the kids in and I was assessing them on their goals, or after, you know, creating certain activities for them. So to do this.
So Debbie, you got this idea from somewhere else, and so then you created that form on your own based on criteria that you wanted to use, correct?
Yes, and I'll show you that right here.
I'm gonna jump the gun and say, would you be willing to share that link, or maybe just copy it and like take like the student name out? Because some of the people are like, ooh, I love the chart, ooh, I like that idea, but I think they need a starting point, because that's how I am anyway.
Yes, and so if you can put on the chat, if you want to put my email address, they can even email me, hey, send me a form, and then what I could do is I could share it with them, and then they can have an edited version of it.
Okay,
so that way they don't have
I will put it in there. I will absolutely put it in there again. I put your email address at the start of the chat, but I will make sure to do so. And I will, I will email you to remind you, and then I can also send your email out if anybody emails me. So sorry, keep going, girl.
No, that's perfect. So then right here, this is where it is. If you go on the autismhelper.com, I will get that linked over to you guys and put that in the chat also. Let me see here. Is it under more? If I go right here, will this show the chat right here, Shelly?
No, right here. If you hit chat, that's at the bottom. Oh, that's right. You guys are Google Hangout people.
Yeah, I think I got it right here. Let me see if I can copy this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to add this part to the chat. This link that I'm giving you, this is the one that has, it kind of gives the directions on how to do it, but that's starting from scratch. So what I can show you right now is I'm going to go ahead and create a folder. So if I go over to my drive, okay, I'm going to go to new, and I'm going to get a folder. And then I'm going to go, I title IEP progress monitoring. And I'm just going to put master copy so I know, or put sample copy. I will erase this after. Okay. So that created this right here. Now when I open this up, I want to start creating folders in here. So then that's where I'm going to go and hit new again. Click on folder. And then let's go, I'm going to put Joey is going to have a folder. I don't know, let's think of another kid. Let's just say Skip. And I don't know, Manny, Mo, and Jack. Let's do Mo. Okay. So then right there we have the 3 of them. And then inside there is where I'm going to go ahead and create the form. Now what I can do is I can either copy, I can move a form I already have, which is what if I send it to you guys, it'll probably be easier. Let me go back over there. I'm going to go to my IEP progress monitoring. Okay, so I can just grab any form, like copy of IEP progress monitoring. I can take this one. I'm going to move that over to the IEP master template. right here. And then that's basically how you move items. Let me go back over here. Okay, so I have a copy already. So I'm going to start making a lot of copies of this form, and you just go and you right click, and then you're going to make a copy. And it's going to just, it's going to say, it takes some time because then you're going to have a copy of an IEP, and then you just keep making copies. So then say I want to rename this now. I'm going to go to rename, and I'm going to put Joey goal number 1, and I'll click OK. I'll do the same, Joey goal number 2, goal number 3. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and then put that in here. So now when I go into Joey's folder, I have his goals. So I created IEP progress monitoring. I created folders. And then I have their goal. So now I'm going to go onto his goal page right now. And it's in right now, it is in edit mode, so I'm able to change things. And I could change the prompt levels as I need to, because I believe you guys have a different prompt level system. I could do the date. If I don't like this, I can go ahead and delete it and start something else.
Right. And so you could put any criteria you want. We also have teachers that are mild moderate teachers, ED teachers. And so they could put different criteria on there, whatever it happens to be, or they could put Sandy criteria on there. Absolutely. I can see it used in so many different ways, Debbie. Awesome.
Okay, yeah, so there's all this prompt level. And then right here, so for example, this is right here, you're gonna add the goal. So we'll say Joey is, you can put toileting. Or you know what, that one goal we say, maybe pull pants up and down. So then that's ready to go. So now, when you click the little eyeball, here's the form that you're gonna work on. And then I'm able to go ahead, put in the date, I'm calling mom, based on conversation, this is kind of a guess, right? Hey mom, how's he doing? Oh, I have to show him pictures, or I really need to tell him, remind him several times, pull your pants up. Okay, that's several times. That's a prompt level 2. It sounds like she's really having to verbally talk to him and probably help him pull his pants up. So physical. And then I'm going to put observation. I could even put other, and then I could put per mom. It's what I do in my phone calls.
I think it only allow you to choose one of those, correct, Debbie?
Yes, I believe you can. Don't quote me, but I think you can edit it to choose more if you want to.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You could. One of our participants, Hillary, said you can change the setting on that. So I think you are correct.
Okay, good. So yeah, so mom is struggling, I could say, and then I'm going to hit submit. So then it gives you the choice to go ahead and submit another form if you needed to, or submit another one. So then see right here already, it generates my responses, and it does everything for you. So I love that, because visuals are always nice. Parents like to see that. And it holds us accountable. It shows what dates we've entered the data. Now this one right here, I would just have to generate a new one. So create a new spreadsheet.
Let me interject right there, because sometimes somebody else saying it in a different way. You can see that everybody that's it'll provide you a summary. But if you wanted to get at the data, because they were like, what do you mean on what date? You can see that on the first column that she has right there, it takes a timestamp of exactly when you put it in. So you would need to adjust that if it wasn't on the exact day. Like maybe you wrote it down on a piece of paper or something, it's going to put a timestamp on there. So it may be a difference between the timestamp and the actual date that you put in, but it'll give you all of the information in case you wanted to do it somewhere else. So there's the summary and then the actual Excel sheet. Now I will shut up, Debbie. You can always tell me to shut up. And
no, thank you, because that helps. It makes it nice and organized. Thank you. So yeah, so then that generates the whole form right there. And if we wanted to start from scratch, we could go over to the drive. Oops, I was over here on my drive. Okay, let's go back over here. So we're going to go to Google Forms. I'm going to close this out of the chat right now. So if you want to create your own form, you're going to put your title in. Yeah. Okay, in the form description, and then your question. So the first question I had that I wanted to do a date. And then how did right here, see where it says date? You click on calendar, and then that one's done. So it's going to give you the, right here, you're just going to type in date, title it. And then I want to start the next question. So you just hit the plus, and it creates something else now. So this is where I did the prompt levels. And then from there, it's a multiple choice on that one. So option 1 was a prompt level 0. Copy this. Prompt level 1, prompt level 2, prompt level 3. Prompt level 5. And then the next thing I wanted was, maybe what was the other thing I was asking? Who was I? Oh no.
Type of prompting.
Type of prompt, thank you. Type of prompting. And then so once again, you're gonna put you could do visual. Oh, physical. And then you go from there. And then we have this one. What was that one, you guys? Oh, yeah, what did I have? Let me see here.
Gesture.
The activity. And, oops. Activity. And then, so then that one's going to be like observation, assessment. What did we say we had?
Work sample.
Work samples. Thank
And
you. Other. So we have that, and there's there's other things you can add. I mean, just whatever you want to do. Then you're going to hit plus again. And so then the next thing we had notes, because I always like to have whatever, especially right now since I'm conversing with parents, I could put notes. And what's nice about Google Forms is, look, it already suggested, oh, you want this to be a paragraph and not multiple choice. It'll kind of like read what you need. So then that's ready to go.
Debbie, before you move on to the next one, go back down there and let's talk through the different kinds of responses, because I'm not sure if people have never used forms before, they might not the types of responses there, like the multiple, that right there, dear. Yes, so whenever you do any type of question to collect data on, this is what I send out when I try to get information back from you guys. You could do something that's a short answer, so it'll only give you one line. A paragraph will open it up so there's a lot of space on it. You could also do multiple choice, text boxes. Check boxes will just like let you see all of the option, or then it's a little bit similar but a little bit different, the drop down menu. You could also do a linear scale, like a scale from 1 to 5. How are they doing? So for the prompt level, you could do a linear scale on that as well. You could also have things like time and date. So there are standard ways that Google has you put information in there. So those are the choices that Debbie is making as she's going through this form to kind of do it out. But there's so many different ways that you could use these things. Or for even like a mild moderate student, you could make specific quizzes in there, and then they can all respond back to you and you could send the link out to them. There's different ways that you could use forms.
Yeah, there's
progress,
so much to this.
yeah, there exactly. But IEP progress monitoring and data collection is what we're focusing on today. But just know that you could mold it to different ways to use it. I'm gonna stop talking now. Sorry.
No, no, that's good. And there's so many ways. And I mean, I would recommend just, go on YouTube maybe and just type in Google Forms to see all those options, because there's a lot there. Like I said, this one I literally got from, I think I saved it because and I sent it to you guys, but from that link, the using Google Forms. This is the link right here, using Google Forms to collect classroom data. And it's kind of nice because it explains different ways. I think it even has a way to create a frequency chart, which is kind of nice because it's going to show you all the graphs and everything right here, frequency goal. And then you just kind of play with it to manipulate it how you want it to look for your classroom. Prompt level goal, ABC data, and it just kind of explains how you can generate one. So, I mean, you guys are welcome to create your own, or like I said, if you want to email me, then I can send you just like the template, and then you can just copy and paste from there.
I mean, if you want, one of our participants was like, she's going to get so many emails. So if you wanted to share it with me, I can share it out with the distribution so that you do not get pummeled. And then only people that want clarification could email you directly. But
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I think people are really wanting, I think the starting place that you kind of went and dove in is awesome. And that's why I wanted to show this again and give people ideas, because there's so many ways that every special educator could use this for progress monitoring of IEP goals.
Yeah, and it's great. Like I said, you can totally tailor it to how you need it. But I'll definitely send that to you. And then Shelly, usually it's Monday through Friday, from 11:30 to 12:30. I always have office hours. Mm-hmm. So if they just go ahead and email me, then I would just send them the invite with the link, and then we can always go step by step on anything that they need.
Oh, you are so sweet. So yeah. I mean, I know that we were also kind of labeled this as classroom management, and you went through this super fast. So I'd like to open this up to maybe asking general Google questions on how you set up your classroom. I don't want to let you go just yet because
I have all that. Yeah.
So let's kind of ask if there's any questions about Google Forms or anything that from the audience out there right at this point. This is exciting. I think we could work well in the lab program. So Debbie, lab is what San Bernardino would have called an ED program, but they say it's learning. Oh my God, why am I blanking out, Aisha? Good God.
Learning alternative behaviors.
Oh my God, I was so ready to do it, but why did it blank out when I wanted to say it? I was having a senior moment at 44.
No, you were having an ADD moment, I think. It's all
Thank
good.
you, Valerie. You were exactly
it's
correct,
like near the end. We're all
ADD. Oh, pretty.
No, absolutely. So Pascal is asking, are the forms printable? So like maybe if you have them in a classroom, I'm not sure. Pascal, go ahead and unmute yourself and you can ask the question as well.
I was just wondering if they were printable, so like hand portable. If a parent doesn't have access to the internet or they're out on a basketball court,
yes.
They take the paper out with them.
Yeah. So if you go over here to the three little dots on the right, there's the print option. And you could print it. And I want to say it's like 7 pages or something.
Another thing that was brought up is by forcing everybody to put an answer in each thing, Hillary was like, sometimes instructional assistants aren't as thorough, but it is, so for you to be able to track the data, she loved the ability to have required fields so that you are disciplined in putting in the information of everything that you need when you're putting it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And somebody's going as far as they suggested, which I haven't done yet, but they said you could even go as far as creating a QR code. So that's
what Hillary is just seeing right now. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then from your phone, you can do your data check.
So a QR code for those, I don't know, I'll just explain in case there's somebody out there that doesn't know what a QR code is. QR codes are those little square things that you can see on different places. And if you hold your phone up to them, most phones will automatically, when your camera setting, and it'll take you to a place on the internet. And so if you have that code, you could even keep them. If when we're back in school, you could probably keep all your QR codes for your different kids on like a flip thing on your lanyard, and then you could just scan that, and then it would bring you to the correct form, and then that would be an easy way for you to get at the form that you're collecting data on. Go ahead, Debbie.
Yeah. So another thing I've done for did I get logged out? Or I'm still there. I'm still there, right?
You're still here. You're all good, honey. I'll let you know if I get lost. If you get lost, you're fine.
I was like, oh my God, you guys are gone.
No, you're fine, cool girl.
So the other thing I did, because of the communication with my parents, I created this one. It's another Google form, master distance communication log. So this, I have my aide. She uses it too, and I use it. So every day I have a class attendance. So I'm able to put in the date. I've got, see, this is where the checkbox option was with the forms. So I was able to check off which kids were here for the day. So actually I didn't do it for today. So I'm gonna say, this is here. Ivan was there. Kayla was there today. Orlando, Angel, and German. They were there today. There were no concerns. And then I'm gonna hit submit. So I just submitted my attendance for my own personal use so I can know which kids were showing up. And then I created a form for each student, because one day a week I call half the class, and then and then my aide calls the other half. So she's calling to communicate with them if there's anything they need. Sometimes they're like, oh, I need some scissor cutting activities or whatever. So she'll just take notes and talk to them, and then she'll send me an email, or she'll find me stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers, and then I'll push it out into the classroom. So it's just letting them know that we're there for them. And so my aide, I tell her, don't give any information, just take information, right? And be there for them. So then she's able to go on, click on Angel, say she met with Angel's mom. She can put in the date. I have who was recording.
Debbie, when I know you probably train your aides very well, but did you kind of have an initial conversation saying, this is what I want you to say, and this is what I want you to kind of go over during this to prep them for what they were going to say?
So I always say, I tell all my aides, I said, anything you say or do can and will, just like the police, it can be used against you. Please do not say anything. If they have a question, that's a good question. I'll have Miss Nation get back to you. Because, and it's happened so many times, like an aide will befriend a bus driver or something, and before you know it, I'm like, why did you have this discussion with a bus driver? And it gets to a parent, and it just falls apart. So yeah, we were really concerned about having our aides even call the parents. And I would just go on your judgment. Which aides are very professional, and then you have other aides like, well, maybe not. And then you can just have them, like, you could even have them just look up all activities online and just have them send it to you.
So I'm gonna, there was a few questions that are on here. Marilyn was asking, I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna let you answer it. Is it possible to add a photograph as a form of documentation to this? So like if you needed to attach anything, or could you put pictures in the place of one of the responses for some reason, if they wanted to use it for something for a kid?
Okay, so that I'm going to have you answer that, because I haven't attached to this, but I have them submit things to the classroom.
Yeah.
Or they send it to Class Dojo.
So I can answer that. So you can put in, so I used this form one time to get information from teachers about their curriculum, and then I put pictures in of the curriculum along with the name. So yes, you can put a picture in there as an option of something that comes up on the form. So absolutely, Marilyn, you can. And Luz Lopez, I think she uses Google Forms as well. She says that she's able to attach such things as videos and pictures, like that maybe go along with something, like if something was happening. Debbie is pressing it, is showing you guys right there where you would be able to do that in your responses as well. So
okay, so that's good. Yeah, and see, I haven't used those yet, so there they are.
I know, we all learn from each other. That's why I like getting people together.
yeah. Okay, so there's that. And so so then with this one, the parent communication log, in my aide, I have a student teacher, so she's able to call my parents. And then I'm like, who did you talk to? Mom, dad, or other. Method of communication. So I use these for communication, because if I have them add something to Dojo, I'm like, please log it. I really want to see how much communication we're using with our parents. And then any concerns the parent might have, they can type it in here, or if there's any notes, and then they would hit submit.
I have some teachers that are really excited. They're writing in caps over here. They're wondering if you would be willing to share your communication log as well, so I can share that out so they don't have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, I'll make a copy and I'll get it sent to you today too after this meeting. So we'll get that
Thank
one
you.
sent out. So those are the two ways I'm using the forms. And then I haven't done this part in a while. Where is it? So then of course it does a spreadsheet also. And it's able to show, this is my attendance, so it shows who attended, any notes based on the day. And then right down here, you have the specific students that they, like right here, the communication. So then it shows right here that I've done most of the conversation with the parents. My aide called her this day. This is a parent so hard to get a hold of.
Debbie, that is so easy because it automatically will sort things, so you could filter things. And so if the principal's like, how many times have you been in contact with this parent, you could be like, oh, hold on, let me just go filter for that kid.
Yes, I can print it, and here's all of my conversations. So this is something I just started with the distance learning, but I am going to utilize this because I usually kept it on a Word document or whatever, but I am going to continue to do this for the school year. I just think it's, like you said, I can print it, it's easy to go.
Exactly. And then you can even say, you even know who contacted them, when they contacted them, what they talked about, whether they got in touch with them. It just, there's so many ways that you could use this. It saves time.
Right. And so, and then my next one I haven't done yet, but with the behaviors, I want to find a way to do the behavior tracking. It's just, for me right now, using a, just, having a clipboard with paper for tallies is the easiest, fastest way right now. I'm sure with an iPad we could do it too, or with our phones. I just haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still learning.
Girl, everybody wants to bow to where you're at with this. We just appreciate you sharing.
Yeah. So like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm trying to think what else. Everything is a class dojo. I'm using this for attendance. So when they come into class, I'm giving them points. And so that's kind of being helpful. What I think I'm going to start doing, it's already end of the year, but if we do this next year, at the end of the week, I've asked our principal, can you budget for some stamps and maybe some rewards? And I'm going to mail out, if you had a good week, you get a reward. And then maybe after a month, I'll send them like a gift card for ice cream or something, just to kind of motivate the parents and the students to get online.
Before everybody came on, you are having about 60%. You said like 5 out of your 9 students are participating. Yes. And like I said, that's in the middle of Baseline and Waterman, which is a tough area of San Bernardino. So you are able to get participation even in the roughest of areas. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And like I said, if I can't, like there's different circumstances, and the ones I can't, I'm fine with it. Between myself and my aide, we're making phone calls, and I'm keeping collections of all the conversations and stuff. So one way or another, I'm reaching them. I look at it like back in the day, we didn't even have technology. So it was phone calls. So if that's how I'm going to take their data, that's what we're going to do. Of course, if they can get online, it's wonderful. Classroom, I can tell you the parents, this is going to be the biggest thing, is getting the district to train the parents to utilize the classroom. I think I probably have 3 parents that really go in here, sometimes 4, but for the most part, it's I log in with them every morning at 9:30. We go through a whole circle time together, and I give time for questions and answers. And then I go through the entire classroom. This is what we're going to do today. This is our schedule. Today's Thursday. This is what we're doing today. So they kind of get the review every single day, and I'm just kind of hoping like after they see it, they'll catch on. So there's that. And I don't know what else did you want me to show you?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the so a lot of people are like, how do they get the monsters on Class Dojo? And they are randomly assigned. Yes. And then people are just talking about access for all and that kind of stuff. And for the RCOE teachers, we are looking at getting access for students and logons and that kind of stuff. They are being ordered. And I agree, if we are going into fall like this, we might need to consider incentive programs that we can support teachers. I can't speak for other districts, but I can speak for my own district.
And a lot
So-
of people are saying Seesaw. I haven't tried it. I'm looking at over the summer. I'll look at Seesaw, but Class Dojo has been so user friendly. My parents are not having a problem logging into it, so I like it. It's user friendly.
So next week, Debbie, we're having a seesaw presentation, and so I'll send that information
invite
to
me.
you.
Okay.
So one of the moderate severe teachers from Lakeside, which is down by San Diego,
Uh-huh.
my friend Jana is going to be presenting on that next week. So I'll make sure I get that out to
Oh,
you.
thank you. Yeah, because I've heard great things about
Welcome.
that one.
Yeah. So I think maybe just go into your Google Classroom, because I think people like to see other people's ideas of how they're setting their things up. So would you mind taking us through your Google
Yeah,
Classroom?
definitely. One thing about, let me show you with Class Dojo though, they do have portfolios, and what I like is this is where my parents upload pictures and I'm able to upload pictures to share with the parents, and they love that. So like this little student, one of his goals was name writing, and look, he's writing his name on the board. So I was able to take a picture and keep that in his portfolio. I can print that out for an IP meeting, and then, it's kind of exciting to show mom, like, look, he's doing it. So there's just all these, it's pretty cool. I like Class Dojo.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my classroom. So every morning, I need to move this up here. Let me move this back up because I always have the intro. So if anybody new shows up, I just say, welcome to my classroom. And of course, here's the streamline, which I say it's like your Facebook wall, right? All the postings go up on here. And then I have my Kinder weekly schedule. But under classwork, I have it organized by week of, and I have all these activities in there for the week. Then I would have speech put in her activities, OT. And what's nice about OT is she sends it to me and I just assign it to those students that have that service. Functional academics, this is just a folder for myself, any extra activities that parents want to have access to. I gave them access to websites that are commonly used in the classroom. Right now, we're using ABC Mouse, iExcel. Our district has it right now, so I have that. Skybrary, it's pretty neat. It's a literacy program that's free for all of us right now, so I signed up for that. Actually, it was for Title I schools, but I was able to get, you can apply for it. It's really quick, like within 24 hours, they give you an access to it. And then, of course, Starfall, that one's awesome for all of our mod severe students. So these are websites that the parents can link into. Visual schedules, I made a ton of visual schedules for my parents. A morning routine. It's just the click and drag one. No, this isn't click. I have a click and drag one. So here's the morning schedule. And so my parents are able to click onto it. And then they can move the check marks if they want to go interactive. Or I told them, if you don't want to do that, just open it up and you can point to it, hey, we're going to get dressed. We're going to eat breakfast. But there's all these schedules that are there for them. I have a daily, like a classroom schedule. I told them this is what we would do in the classroom. So if you kind of want to keep the routine up while you're at home, I understand they're working and stuff and they have other kids, but it's all here and they're able to push it over if they're done.
Oh, that's very cool. So you have it's a visual schedule like they're used to doing in classroom.
Yes.
But you have activities that would be assigned. So you maybe walk the parents through. This is what we do. They have all their stuff over here, and then we move it over here when they're finished.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then, so I even have the option where they could print it, but this is, it's just kind of nice if they want to have the interactive one too. So there's the visual schedules there. And then of course, circle time. I have all of their circle time videos. And this is what we'll start watching these in the morning because I have morning check-in from 9 to 9:30. The parents were kind of like, Miss Nation, they were like, it's kind of early. They want to sleep in and we were going to change it. And then another parent made a good point. She's like, no, she's like, you know what? We need to stay routine. So I said, nope, we're going to do it. 9 o'clock, if you guys aren't there, you miss out. So all of them are, like I said, 5 are checking in at 9. And so we do the whole routine. I've got music and movement. So if they need some, physical fitness, it's right there. I've added resources. These are the resources that are in their backpacks. Like I have a touch math, a visual. So these are visuals they have at home, but if they happen to lose them, they can use these to point to or print. And so there's a shape chart, ABC chart. and all of that. So when I go in every morning, I say, good morning. We're going to click onto the weekly schedule. I let them know, you know, right here, we have our morning check-in from 9 to 9:30 every day. They're able to, you know,
Let me
call.
make hold on, Deb, for a second. So, different districts are doing different things. And so Francine, one of the teachers that was a presenter yesterday, they have asynchronous time and asynchronous time. Asynchronous time, they're doing direct instruction in San Bernardino. So there are times that everybody gets together, their classroom time, and that's when they're coming together. So every day, Miss Nation gets together with their class from 9 to 9:30, start them off for their day, and then they continue on asynchronous time so they can do it at their own schedule and own pace. So I just wanted to say, if we have to start out the beginning of the year, there will be some more direct instruction, and we will be moving from enrichment to direct instruction, but nothing has changed just yet. I just want to get your thoughts around that. So sorry, go for it, Debbie.
No, and that's exactly what we're doing too. So, and I, you know, that's what I document too. So anytime I call them with IP data checks, anytime I'm having a phone conversation with them, then that's my asynchronous time too, or synchronous. And then anything I post into the classroom, because I'm always, you know, checking it out, posting, that's going to be the asynchronous time right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it works out easy, and it's not the classroom's not putting too much time into it. It's like usually by what, Sunday you're adding whatever you need, and then you're just kind of reviewing it throughout the day. Every morning we review the calendar, and so I have the link and we go through the whole calendar together. And then every other day we do a Jack Hartman.
Debbie, I'm already thinking that people are going to want to steal this, so you might as well just send this to me as well.
And send a copy of the classroom. Okay. Yeah.
Hillary, did that meet your needs? Because Hillary is the one that is drinking this up right now.
Oh yeah, and sharing is caring, so I'm all about it. Like, send me stuff too, because I love to steal ideas. This is our circle time. So my student teacher's awesome. She created this now. So all I do is if I click on this, it links me to our circle time. Oops, where am I at? So every single morning from 9 to 9:30, we do our circle time songs. And just depending on time, we might skip one, but you know how it is. I mean, we have a routine. So we go through all of our morning songs together. And then after that's when I'm going to go in and I'm like, okay, we did our songs. So now let's go to the day. Today is Thursday. And then these are all the activities. So I said for ELA, today we're working on sight words. And I went ahead and attached a sight word activity for them. We're going to trace shapes and we're going to do shape review. Now remember, the biggest thing was we said, let's do activity based. We need to pretend like our parents don't have access to a computer or something. So our thing is to find things that they can do. Tracing shapes is easy. Mom, get a pen, draw a circle, have Joey trace a circle. Find things around the house that are a circle. So just trying to find activity-based stuff too. Also looking at our kids that are maybe at a level 1 versus, or a stage 1 versus like a stage 2. When I say that, stage 1, 24 months or below. Trying to find activities. So I have a ton of hyperlinks here. Like I do a shape video. There's the shape tracing, or there's file folders. This stays everything Monday through Friday. PE is the same. It's just having the option to go Noodle and find an activity. And then I have my student teacher. She's in charge of the rest of the domains. So this week, all week long, you'll see is community, and it's the same activity all week long. I think she switched this one up for the week, the summer activities. And then on Fridays is my rec and leisure. So she would come up with an activity for Friday. And this should have been highlighted for rec and leisure. And then I have additional resource page. So right here, they all have hyperlinks. And so they can go to Starfall if they need to. They can go to Skybrary. The biggest thing is the more stuff you have, you just really want to try to make all of their passwords and everything uniform. So that was kind of a chore. But the biggest thing, honestly, I think Boom Cards and Starfall for me, I found have been amazing for our students.
we're going to be doing a boom card in service. We have a teacher like you that has kind of dove in, and we voluntold her that she has to present that as well. So a lot of teachers are loving boom cards. I didn't know about them till now. So
Same here, and I'm like in love with it now. So it's really neat. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. So so that's worked out good. And like I said, just getting our parents, if they're logging into the meeting, I review this every day with them. So I'm hoping they're catching on to the classroom. But like I said, I don't see them utilizing the classroom as much as I would like. There's probably half the class is doing that. But it's all here for them. And like I said, I take a lot of this and I also add it to Class Dojo. So that way, for the parents that Class Dojo is easy to log into, they have that option too. But
with Class Dojo, parents could also put that as an app on their phone, correct?
Yes.
So sometimes that's easier because parents are used to doing apps. They can put it right next to their Facebook and log into that one. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and this has been my messaging board too. So my parents and this is how we send messages to each other. For the longest time, I never had my phone calls with my parents, but because of distance learning now, I'm open to it. By 3:30, I do not answer the phone for parents. So because you have to put an end to it.
No, true.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was agreeing with you, but you're right. So Hillary is asking, how involved are the parents during your classroom time? Because obviously they probably have to help their students get logged on, but does a parent usually stay with the kids, or are the kids involved when you get them online?
So for me, because it's kinder, all of my parents are there. So we're like one big happy tea party. Like, moms are there in the morning. I've had to mute them all because, you've got some of them talking and, all the noise level. So I just mute them all. And if they have questions, they can unmute. I've had the fun experience of having to kind of get rid of the video too for some homes because, you might see a little too much.
The stories from the field. Yeah, I love those stories.
Yeah, I think the first time I didn't realize I could block them, and I'm like, oh no, and it was.
You're like, wow, that's more skin than I really needed this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny. All the parents, all the moms were like, what are we looking at? I'm like, I don't know. But other than that, so like I said, the parents are all involved. I'm lucky this year. Like I said, I've got half of them that are really involved. I have one mom. She's amazing. So I told her she's my virtual room mom. So she helps me reach out to other parents, Spanish speaking. So it's really nice. And so I owe her a huge thank you.
No, absolutely. So everybody is amazed at what you're doing and just loves to see teacher to teacher how everybody is doing anything. Does anybody have any questions before we let our friend Debbie go? Besides that you owe her a debt of gratitude for sharing her hard work.
Shelly, is it okay if I put down the feedback form that I need from my...
Oh yeah, and I never filled one out for the last time, and I promise you that I will fill it out because you are a rock star, and you can always have your bot. I think it's Shanna that's in charge of you guys. Yeah. Shanna can always call me, and I would write you a letter of recommendation in a heartbeat. So you are always so good.
Thank you. If anyone can complete that, I really appreciate it.
So Debbie is a demonstration teacher. A demonstration teacher in her district is that she is a classroom teacher, but she works an 8-hour day because she supports other teachers. Other teachers come to her classroom that are moderate severe to check what's going on. And so she likes to get feedback because of the continuous improvement cycle is we can all improve on how we're doing. And so there's a link right here to give her feedback on her presentation today for San Bernardino for distance learning. And so she would love your guys' feedback and how she did. And I'm sure it's going to be as wonderful as the ones I'm going to give her because Debbie,
thank you.
Moderate severe teachers especially, it's hard to see how to adapt things, and so you made it so user friendly that it seems doable after seeing this. So
and that's the thing, is just making it work for us, right? Because we don't know. I mean, this is such a challenge, and we're such a unique group that we just have to make it work and be accountable.
Can I ask you a quick question? And
absolutely, go Adriana.
So I'm not very techie. You all know that. But I loved your visual schedule, the classroom.
Yes.
Visual schedule. Do you have access to
I do. So please,
Maker? Is that how you did it?
I did. I took it off Boardmaker and I did the whole thing where I took my snapshot and
But Adriana, you're gonna get stuck on using Boardmaker. So Nation, she could use Unique. Our COE teachers
Oh,
have
the
Unique,
sticks.
and they have the pick sticks, so you could use those as the graphics as well. So
But if you guys email me and request certain things that you see, I can definitely make copies and send them to you. I don't mind.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, if we can save all the work and headaches, I think it's much easier.
Debbie, you are a rock star, and I just hope that someday that our COE teachers, that I can invite you down and we can host a real live interaction and networking, because you are a great example of things that we all should try to do, and you have pushed yourself. So I thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Will you be sending the link for the feedback?
Yes, I did. I could send it again. Let me see. I'll put it on the chat right now.
One of our teacher of the year, Nikisha Astorga, is saying she wants it all. She loves everything. So
thank you.
Nikisha, you might want to go to Debbie's what is that? What do you call it? Your office hours?
Yes, just send me an email that you want what day you want to join, and then I'll send you the link to it.
So Keisha, you can see what other questions you can ask her personally, and then you can set up a network to get anything that you can, because you guys would probably dork out together for a really long time. So
and there's the email, guys, if you need it.
All right. Well, please take the opportunity to give her feedback so she can grow as a presenter and all of that stuff. And her boss likes it over in San Bernardino. This recording will be available, and I'll be sending it out. And the things that we already promised, like the forms, will go out. But Keisha might talk more to Debbie and make some direct connections and not such a large group. So. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Debbie, you're awesome.
Thanks.
You're awesome.
Appreciate
it. Are you working summer school?
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Michelle.
Bye. Thank you.
Are you working summer school, girl?
No, I'm not. Well, you know what? As demo team, we can't work with the kids in the summer, but I mean, I think I have a couple of days. I'm off the end of June. I'm going to try to push some time off in July because of my son.
Yeah.
And I'll probably come back middle of July.
I hear you. Do you work 2:15 or 2:12?